Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Muka here, back for you with another new part of What If Izuku Was Trained by all of the Shonen Jump protagonists. This is part 33, and in the last part, Izuku, being his vigilante self, the Shadow, took down the League of Villains at their hideout for the time being before the heroes showed up, where he was trying to convince them to surrender for the time being, while he plans on taking on All for One. However, with the heroes soon showing up, basically puts a damper on his plans a little bit. Mainly because they planned on raiding both locations, being the hideout of the League of Villains and the Nomu factory that they were at, due to Kurogiri constantly warping there over and over again, which led to All for One saving Shigaraki and the fellow members of the League of Villains. However, little did All for One know that two vigilantes of Izuku, being Ion and the Ronin, were already planning on taking him down sooner or later. However, thanks to Mirako, though, Best Genius, alongside that of You/Mount Lady, and even All for One now know that the vigilantes of Ion, Shadow, and the Ronin are Izuku. And during the battle, Izuku allowed the League of Villains members to leave, given that he believes that they can change, that they can be shown good. All they need to be shown is that there are people that genuinely care about them. After all, not just beat them because of their crimes. And the first step to helping them: destroy All for One. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? About that an hour ago, the press conference meeting between that of UA staff with Nezu, Aizawa, and Vlad King, with that of the media and press, with multiple people asking questions on what has happened, with them basically rehearsing over the script that they did before. With the League of Villains found a way to get into that of the summer camp, where they basically did all they could to hide the information on where they were going. However, thanks to a pro with that of a teleportation quirk, they were able to transfer all of the students alongside the Pussycats to take care of them, leaving that of Aizawa and Vlad King to take care of the Nomus and the villains, which soon led to Vlad King explaining that when they took care of the villains, the Nomus began to overwhelm them, causing him to use his blood quirk to, kill many of the Nomus, even though they were nothing but corpses. Many people can't accept that a villain decided to kill instead of capture. Because of this, a few of the press, especially one reporter, began to think that because of Vlad King's actions, he should be removed instead of a teacher, being a danger for that of the students after all. Hearing this, Aizawa couldn't help but be annoyed at the fact that one of his co-workers, especially a co-worker who didn't do anything wrong, is being accused and should be removed from education, before Nezu speaking up, explaining that it was that of a do-or-die situation, with that of a small army of bioengineered people who were basically nothing but corpses, as they did autopsies saying that they had no brain functions whatsoever, besides given simple orders by somebody, which is most likely the League. In short, killing them is more of a mercy than anything. A few of the pros accepted this. However, some can't accept that. Mainly the one who's criticizing UA the most, after all. Even wanting to know on who was the pro that they used to teleport all of the students alongside the Pussycats back to UA. To them, they began to even go through that of multiple pros who actually do have teleportation quirks. However, these pros were basically nowhere near that of the Tokyo/Masafu prefecture area. One was in that of Okinawa, while one was also in that of Osaka, and another one was actually all the way in Kyushu. There would be no way that these pros would be able to arrive at UA at the exact same time to teleport them away, so that only has to leave somebody else, possibly that of a student. Began to realize that what this reporters bringing up is the very things that they wanted to keep secret. However, they soon bring up the fact that, yes, a student did teleport them. However, we can't get the information of that student, mainly to keep them safe and not targeted by anybody. Within, as I'll also bring up the fact, and if you blame them for basically using a quirk without a permission, they did it in protest to protect all of them. They may have broken the law, but they did it in a way that keeps everybody protected and safe. The true essence and true meaning of a hero. Within hearing this, soon one of the reporters who was kept on pushing, kept on sighing, saying, I guess so. However, this still brings up the fact that UA is not as safe as it used to be as years go on, especially having to be with that of the League. Within Nezu bring the fact that there is a mission to find and defeat the League. However, it takes time before it's possible to find any leagues, which is basically a lie because they're already doing it right now. While the press conference is still going on, a certain three familiar teenagers of Class 1A is going to that of the hospital, as it being that of Momo and Ochako. However, the third person is surprisingly Bakugo, with Bakugo basically listening through that of the press conference, but then getting annoyed at the fact saying, damn reporters, damn leeches, what the hell do they damn know? With then Ochako saying, geez, Bakugo, I understand how frustrated you might feel about this, but it can't be helped. With then soon Momo saying, yeah, this is to be expected. This was the kind of fire that UA would be under once people found out the truth. If anything, I'm actually surprised and glad that they're doing all they can to protect Izuku, though. With Momo having that of a worried look on her face. With then soon Bakugo saying, the damn Deku, if it wasn't for him, none of this would be happening, but we would all be basically, UA would be way more under fire if Deku didn't do a single damn thing. But, so I can't be completely mad. But then Ochako saying, are you just mad because you can't find a reason to be angry at him? Saying, shut it, round face! As the two girls couldn't help but laugh at Bakugo's antics, trying to basically hold back his true emotions and feelings. As they soon arrive to the hospital, within soon, a news report basically appears as Bakugo switched out of that of the, live stream presentation. He soon goes to that of a live news report on that of Camino Ward. Within, his eyes widening and shocked. With soon, Ochako and Momo wanted to look at what happened, as they also had shocked at seeing what's happening, as Camino basically looks like that of a freaking battleground. With then, Bakugo couldn't help but grit his teeth in that of anger and annoyance before running down the halls of the hospital. Within soon, Ochako saying, hey, Bakugo, what are you doing? With Momo screaming, you can't run through the halls of a hospital. It's so rude. With then soon, opening the door towards that of Izuku's room and seeing inside, as he was expecting to see that of an empty room. However, he was soon let down as Izuku was still in that of the hospital room, as he has his phone out, seeing the situation from Camino as well, but then looking at the door saying, hey, what up, Kachan? With then, soon, Bakugo saying, I thought for sure, what the hell is I thought for sure that you would be gone, you damn Deku? With then, soon, Izuku saying, well, I told my mom I would stay here for at least tonight. I'll be heading out at least early in the morning to get home. So you got nothing to worry about. With it, Bakugo basically stomping into the room saying, that's not the point I was thinking about. I thought for sure that you would be out there fighting against the League or doing some stupid vigilante crap. With then, soon, Izuku's eyes widening and shocked before realizing, crap, if I knew you figured it out, then I'm damn sure know that everybody else is going to figure it out too. With then, soon, Momo and Ochako hearing that of Vigilante saying, what do you mean by Vigilante? With soon, Izuku saying, shit. as the Izuku in that of the hospital right now is the real life Izuku after all, as neither as the vigilantes out in Camino are still clones. With back into that of the battle zone of Camino, All Might trying to push back All for One with all of his might, as the winds and shockwaves continue to push. Within soon, Ion Izuku can help but scream, "All Might, stop! You're just causing more debris to push over!" With then hearing the words of the vigilante of Izuku, he soon gets out of the deadlock. Within, All for One actually begins to catch his footing as well, and still looking like he's not even phased. However, All Might already sees that All for One has been taking quite a bit of damage, most likely thanks to the efforts of Mirko, Bestginis, and also the other vigilantes as well. Within, All for One smugly saying, well, what took you so long, All Might? And back in your heyday, you would have been here in that of 5 seconds. I'm guessing you're not as powerful as you used to be. Within soon, All Might begins to jump in place, feeling like he's basically warming up, saying, "Oh, then what about you? You're no spring chicken yourself. I mean, look at that breathing mask of yours. It looks like you already have 1 foot in the grave." Within soon, All for One saying, "I won't lie. I would prefer it if I didn't have to use this thing, but unfortunately, it's necessary enough for me to put you in the ground as well." Then soon, both Mirko and Bestginis on the sidelines couldn't help but say, This cannot be happening." As Bestginis is completely caught off guard and shocked on seeing that All Might was pushed back for at least a bit. But then Mirko saying, "So, we're basically about to see that of 2 titans basically go at it. Now this is going to be quite amazing. But unfortunately, I'm not the kind of girl to just sit on the sidelines, though." Then soon, both Tryon Izuku switches from his scorpion blades to that of a handgun. Within soon, filling it up with that of unique Tryon bullets that he created, with being his elemental bullets, while still having that of 1 scorpion blade in his right hand, with soon pointing it straight at All for One, alongside that of Ion preparing both his Nichiri Katana and his Zanpakuto Yusa as well, as both clone vigilantes were about to prepare to fight back, as then Bestginis saying, "What are you doing, Midoriya? Both Midoriyas, I mean. You want to get involved in a fight like this?" Saying, "Of course we do, because we already are aware that All Might is already on his time limit. He's most likely already pushed himself this far, and fighting against All for One, that time limit is about to dive down even more." Then soon, Ion speaking, saying, "We refuse to sit on the sidelines, as Mirko said, so we're going to help out in any way we can." Then after saying that, soon, Ronin Izuku saying, "Bestginis, if you don't want to fight, then help with that of the evacuation. There are probably still civilians around the area that need help, especially some that may be trapped and weren't able to escape." Then after hearing that, soon Bestginis saying, "He's definitely right. We only evacuated civilians nearby that of the factory. Now that the factory's destroyed and even out of the nearby buildings too, there's most definitely some civilians who got trapped in debris and need help." Then soon, Bestginis is looking at Mirko saying, "I'm guessing you're not going to stand aside, right?" Saying, "Hell no, I'm not. I'm definitely getting involved in this." Then soon, Bestginis saying, Then don't get in All Might's way too much. Do what you can do. I'm going to see if I can help as many civilians as I can." Within, the number 5 pro soon heads off. Within, Mirko saying, "Don't let me keep you waiting," as she looks like she's about to take that of a leaping stance. Within, her legs begin to bulge, saying, "Well, I'll help these 3. With Mirko having that of a savage grin. With then, soon, All For One prepares that of a air cannon blast from his hands, shooting straight at All Might. However, for All Might, he countered it with that of his Texas Smash, sending a gust of tornado air towards that of All For One's air blast. Within, seeing that this was the perfect opportunity, both Ronin and Ion soon strike, with as Mirko and alongside that of Ronin and Izuku prepare to slash at All For One. Within All For One, seeing a perfect opportunity, basically shoots out of a kinetic burst from his body. However, it basically knocks back Mirko. However, for Ronin and Izuku, he uses his Zanpakuto to block the attack before recovering quick enough, before screaming, "Breath of the Sun! Third form! Raging Sun!" as both his Zanpakuto and his Nichiri Katana begins to engulf in that of flames with the help of his Nen aura coating them, thanks to his emitter specialty, before rushing back at All For One, and surprisingly, All For One tried to harden his body with that of several body modification quirks around his to guard the attack. However, as soon as he does, blood begins to spill from the upgrade from that of the powered up and armored arm. With All For One couldn't help but be shocked under his mask, if he had any eyes left, that is. Before then, soon, using this moment of shock, Ion Izuku soon fired that of multiple Tryon shots, one being that of fire, one being that of lightning, and another being that of ice. Within, burning him aiming straight for the already added wounds to his arm with that of the fire shot, the lightning shot going to his legs, and the last shot going to that of his chest to keep him frozen down for a bit, which soon allowed that of All Might to get close enough to him, and then landing that of a powerful Detroit smash to that of his body, actually, sending him flying everywhere. Within, seeing the battle and aftermath that is going on, Mount Lady finally gets her bearings, as you soon notice that everything that's happening, before thinking, so Izuku has been a vigilante for so long? He's basically kept this secret from me all this time? Why would he? Within realizing, of course, I'm a pro heroine, so it figures that he would keep it a secret from me. If he told me, I would most likely tell that of tell my fellow pros. Then they would tell that of the police, and the police would tell that of the HPSC as well. So of course, I'm such an idiot. I don't even know my boyfriend that well, and yet he does all this to protect me without me even realizing it. Then, you couldn't help but clench her fist before saying, I may not be on the same level as him, and I'm 100% aware of that, but I'm still a pro, and it's my duty to protect the innocent. Then Sue, realizing that she can help at least some pros, possibly some that are trapped under rubble, saying, the least I can do is probably save as many people as I can to get and stay away from the battle that's happening here. That's all I can do. As Mount Lady soon heads off, she soon couldn't help but look back at the clones of Izuku, then saying, please Izuku, win this while you can. With soon back in the fight, All For One soon regenerates from that of his damage, within realizing, it looks like those clones, they may be clones, and they may be halving that of Midoriya's true abilities and power, but they're still capable. And not only that, whatever those abilities are, they were able to get through my quirks pretty easily, even with that of multiple quirks adding on to them. Whatever, I need to know more. I need to know what his quirk truly is. I need to find the real Midoriya and take his quirk, and then most likely all of those abilities as well will be mine too. As All For One's greed continues to basically show under his mask, little did he know some Ion was already in front of him within saying, "You should keep your eyes peeled, even though you don't have them though," within soon, as he was about to punch Ion in the chest, a grasshopper platform soon appears right below Ion, sending him flying upwards, which soon leaves him opening for that of Mirko, as she's already below All For One, before then dealing that of a powerful highwards kick to his chin, which is close to even ripping off his breathing mask, saying, "You gotta keep your eyes peeled. I may not be All Might, but I'm still capable of handling myself, All For One." Within noticing this, he's saying, maybe true you are, my dear." After saying that, he soon points his arm downwards towards Mirko, which then soon Izuku using what's left of his Tryon and grabs that of Mirko using his ray gas, switching back into it, with then pulling her up to him, which soon All Might tries to deal that of another powerful Detroit smash, with then soon All For One sends that of another air bullet blast towards him. However, he soon amplifies it with even more quirks, sending All Might flying backwards, with them saying, "Even with One For All being weakened, you still have this much power left. I must say, I'm impressed." With then All Might recovering from the blast, however, he begins to cough up at least a little bit of blood, with then soon Ronin Izuku already in front of All For One once again, as soon All For One was about to slam his fist into Ronin Izuku. However, Ronin saw this before using his Zanpakuto to cut right into his arm. However, within, All For One began to feel the pain of having his arm basically cut in two, with then soon using his Nichiri Katana, he soon channels another breathing style, as you can hear him sucking in air into his mouth, before Ronin screams out once again, "Sun breathing, fifth form." As he says this, he soon jumps up into the air as the burning sun flames begin to engulf his Nichiri Katana, as he soon jumps up into the air, with then All For One was about to use his left arm to send that of a powerful kinetic blast from his arm. However, the arm was soon cut in half once again, this time bisected by that of the forearm, within All For One completely cut off guard, while his right arm is still trying to regenerate. He could still see the burning through that of the wound being cauterized, but even so, it won't stop him from regenerating. Is then once again shocked and surprised, as soon Izuku saying, "Setting Sun Transformation," as then soon stepping right back, before then channeling his Zanpakuto, saying, "And this is where I end it here and now." With soon his spiritual pressure begins to erupt from his body, to the point that even All For One feels quite worried that he may not be able to survive this attack. However, part of him is already aware that Izuku Midoriya, this hero boy, will not kill him. Within soon slamming down, saying, "Getsuga Tensho!" Slamming his Zanpakuto down with a spiritual blast, sending flying towards All For One, as All For One hoping that his right arm repairs itself sooner or later, as then the regeneration finally quits, before then using that of multiple quirks to harden his arm, his body, and even tried to use that of kinetic blast around his body to send that of the spiritual pressure slash back to disperse it, or at least deflect it back. However, all he did was basically delay the inevitable, as soon the Reishi slash cuts right through his body, with cutting off his right arm that already fully regenerated, before then even cutting off pieces of his leg and almost half of the entirety of his right side, with even the breathing mask not even spared, as as the entire right side, it was completely destroyed. Only that of the left side and that of the center basically still intact. With then Suit, all for one, kneeling down the ground, hoping that his arms regenerate fast enough, alongside his wounds healing too, going down to his knees, thinking that power, that was no quirk. Even for a quirk, there's still somewhat a physical representation of a person. Even with that, of using a person's body and somewhat organs as well to do something like that. Whatever that was not something a quirk is capable of. It almost felt supernatural. With then Sue, all for one, couldn't help but grin, trying to still have that of an air of confidence and arrogance, saying, "I'm quite impressed, Midoriya. Whatever you did to me, I'm actually quite intrigued. I want to know, what was that?" Because even for the multiple abilities you have, some seem realistic and understandable, but that didn't seem real at all. It didn't make any sense to me. So I must ask, what was it? With then sued Ronin Izuku couldn't help but say, "What would you like to know? Personally, you're not going to get to know. All you are is going to know is that you are not going to leave this battlefield alive." With then preparing both his swords once again. With it, Sue off one saying, "Is that so? Don't you think killing me is unheroic?" Saying, "Don't play the morally gray card with me. I'm morally gray to my core." Within, it wasn't Ronin Izuku who said that, but Ion Izuku. As then, he basically switching back into that of his Katasei Tryon sword katana and stabs right into All For One's back without warning. With then Suit, All Might, and even Mirako were caught off guard seeing this, as they didn't even realize that Ion Izuku was there. But then, All For One, coughing up blood through that of his mask, what's left of it at least, as soon turning around, seeing that of Tryon Izuku, saying, "I only kill those who deserve death. I kill the Nomus to release them from their deadly prison of not even being able to be human anymore. I only kill villains who truly deserve death, who don't deserve to live any longer, because all they'll do is just cause more death, destruction, and pain and sorrow for others." I realize there are some people who can be saved, some people who can be who can be redeemed as well. That's why I believe the League can be redeemed, can be saved. But you had so many chances to redeem yourself, so many chances to become something greater. With the quirk you have, the power to basically take and give quirks away, and you use it to hurt others and control them and manipulate them the way you see fit, like some kind of god. It sickens me. Within soon removing that of the energy-like blade from All For One's back. Within soon, All For One going down to his knees. However, at the exact same time, his right arm begins to regenerate alongside his left one too. However, they're being slowly than before, thanks to that of both sun breathing and his spiritual power Reishi as well. With then suit, All For One couldn't help but sigh, couldn't help but laugh, saying, "Can you blame me?" While laughing, but also coughing at the exact same time. With then All Might saying, "I don't condone what you're trying to do here, young Ronin." But finding out, or should I say young Midoriya, saying, "Guessing Mirako told you while you were basically seeing everything happen, or recovering too." Look, I can understand that you're thinking what I'm doing is wrong, All Might. And I can't blame you for thinking that. But I want to help others, while being both a pro and a vigilante at the exact same time as well. There's so much good I can do for others in different ways. That's why I chose to be a vigilante first and then a pro second. To get that a first-hand experience on what it's like to be a vigilante and understand what my masters went through after all. With and Sue, All Might saying, "Your masters?" with soon Ronin Izuku standing right side that of All Might and his other self, saying, my masters went through something like this. They fought against people like that of villains all the time. However, some villains deserve it, while some didn't. Not only that, some of them have taken lives before, while some haven't. Some have found ways to defeat their enemies without having to kill, while some had to kill to survive, to protect others. It's simple as that. And I know in our society, a hero should not kill. They should just defeat and bring them down. But in a way, is that truly enough? Sometimes villains end up escaping from heroes and the police all the damn time. Muscular, Moonfish. They're SS-class criminals that basically have done nothing but murder and made people suffer. I made Moonfish's death quick by basically blowing a hole in his head. And as for Muscular, I made it painful. Basically instant death without him even feeling so much pain while dying at the exact same time. Without him even realizing it before it was too late. And that's the reason why he's not even here after all. Then soon, All For One couldn't help but feel somewhat overwhelmed and shocked that this is how Izuku acts, how he treats. Thinking that, is this truly on how the kind of person that Izuku wants to be as a hero? Ion Izuku saying, but then there are some villains that have no choice but to be villains because the society failed them, because the society abandoned them, because the society didn't care about them when they needed the help most. People rely so much on heroes, nobody thinks about just helping others anymore or showing at least a bit of kindness. Everybody relies so much on quirks, heroes, and everything else. That's why we need to change that. I will change that by being the number one hero of not just Japan, but the entirety of the world. I refuse to just stand by and do nothing when I know I have the power to stop it. Simple as that. As the conviction from the Izuku clone even affects that of All Might. Within saying, well then, young man, I hope you're aware of the consequences, but I can also respect them as well. Then soon, all for one, starting to get his bearings back, even with his regeneration quirk being pushed past its limits due to all the damage he is getting, saying, my, I must say, having to hear such filthy heroic rabble is kind of annoying, I will not lie. Within Mirako saying, well, of course you would think that. You're just basically your stereotypical everyday villain. Then soon, Ion Izuku saying, he's far from that, Mirako. Then soon, she looking at him, at that of the border jacket, hooded wearing vigilante. Within saying, he's basically the very definition of a true villain. The end game boss, as people like to say. And not only that, he'll basically use anybody and everything to get in his way. Then soon, All Might saying, such as my master's grandchild as well. Then clenching his fist. Then soon, all for one saying, wait, so you know All Might? As surprise, given that All for One had that of a hearing quirk after all. Then All Might still having that of a serious look saying, of course I know. I am aware that you, All For One, took my master's grandson, Tenko Shimura, thanks to young Midoriya in gathering the information. I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for that. Within soon, Izuku saying, well, it wasn't just that. Turns out, all the way back in Hosu, when taking down Stain, he saw that of several figures who was basically looking after that of Tomura Shigaraki. One being that of a woman that looks like she's at least in her late 30s to early 40s, with that of blonde hair. A little girl with black hair wrapped in that of pigtails. and an elderly couple as well, basically lingering over that of Shigaraki, as these are basically the spirits of Shigaraki after all. Thanks to Izuku basically having that as spiritual pressure, just like everyone else in the world of Bleach, he's able to see ghosts and spirits. Hell, it's one of the reasons on why he's able to take down many villains as well, and basically defeat them when he's basically going on his vigilante run. He's able to communicate with the dead, with past victims after all, forcing his victims to confess to their crimes. It was also one of the reasons on how he was even able to find a hideout, because they always follow after him, and he was able to even ask who they were, as they being the Shimura family, as they just watching over that of their son slash brother slash grandson, Tenko Shimura. It was that very reason on how he was able to know who Shigaraki truly was at the mall, and why he was even able to understand him better than anything, and why he genuinely wants to help Shigaraki now, how he wants to save him more than before, telling All Might and Bakugo about Shigaraki and possibly All for One's plans for him, and that he truly really isn't his successor. To be honest, it only makes sense. It only makes sense that Shigaraki has people still watching over him to this day, no matter what, because to them, they do not blame Tenko for their deaths. To be honest, when he awakened his quirk. So in a way, this is more than just Izuku wanting to save him out of the kindness of his heart. It's also a way to save him as a request from his family as well. With then soon, as All for One begins to speak up once again, saying, yes, I found young Tenko Shimura alone on the streets with bloodied hands and basically wandering with no one looking after him. A boy with blood on his hands, and nobody bothers to either try to help him or ask what's happened to him, as they just ignore him, as they say they'll wait until the heroes get involved. They'll help him. Instead, nobody decided to show any kindness to him until you showed along. With Ronin Izuku pointing his Zanpakuto once again at the true leader of the league, within saying, well, I gave him a helping hand. I decided to look after him. I mean, isn't it weird that in a world full of pro-heroes, heroes whose job is to save others and even inspire others to help them as well, a villain is the one that saved an innocent boy from suffering, with an All Might gritting his teeth in anger saying, save him? You used him! You manipulated him! You basically turned him into nothing but another villain! A twisted amalgamation to destroy, to what? To basically hurt me? To despise me? To hurt, and to one last screw you to my master as well? How dare you! How dare you, All for One? How dare you do such a horrible thing? Within All for One, even with the immense pain he has, he couldn't help but laugh at the reactions of All Might. With then soon, All for One stopped laughing, saying, I mean, can you not blame me? After all, I despise you more than anything. I mean, finding young Tomura was mainly an accident, I won't lie. But I won't lie that he also had the hatred to potential to be used as the ultimate weapon against Hero Society and you. However, somebody like him will go far. Somebody like him whose hatred, despair, and act of wanting to destroy will basically consume everything. He's absolutely perfect. Perfect within soon. Somebody screams out saying, as your perfect little vessel. With then soon, everybody was shocked and surprised hearing this, except Ronin Izuku and Ion Izuku. As then Shadow Izuku shows up in front landing on the ground before standing back up. With then soon Mirko saying, Shadow? Wait, or Midoriya again, right? Saying, bingo. With then All For One saying, so the other clone finally shows up. I'm guessing you had quite a bit of problems with the heroes? Within him saying, pretty much, I won't lie, Endeavor, Edgeshot, Kamui Woods, and even Gran Torino were pretty strict. Even the police tried their best to try and stop me, but their best wasn't good enough, to be honest. But no disrespect to them. However, what I really want to know is, what is it that you truly want for Tomura Shigaraki after all? Why do you use him? Why do you manipulate him? And why do you really want us to believe that that he is truly your successor when we all know that's not the case at all? What is he truly to you? With then soon hearing this, All For One, through his mask, even if he had any eyes, couldn't help but be shocked and surprised by the question and by the realization. With then, however, without them realizing, there's a news copter above everything, seeing that as they basically recording everything that is happening, with the appearance of All Might, with the fight between that of the heroes and the vigilantes before Shadow Izuku appeared, even with that of Mount Lady and Best Genius, even that of Gang Orca, basically trying their best to save as many people in the background as well. With now zooming back into the conversation, even though they can't really hear as much, they can at least get some audio, at least a bit. Within soon, All For One saying, thought as much. I should know. You were able to find out about if this boy is able to even find out about Tomura's identity. It only makes sense that he would be able to figure me out as well. Well, you see, young lad, Tomura really isn't my successor. He's just nothing, but he's actually the next me. With then hearing that, all of them couldn't be shocked and surprised. With then, however, even Izuku, all three Izukus were caught off guard by that. With then All Might saying, what do you mean the next you? Are you telling me you're trying to groom him to be your all for one? Saying, perish the thought. There can only be one me. But when I say the next me, I'm saying I'll be Tomura, and Tomura will be me. With soon coming to the realization, both Izuku say at the exact same time saying, you plan on stealing his body! With then Mirko alongside that of All Might. Hell, even that of Gang Orca, Best Genius, and Mount Lady could not be shocked hearing the screams of all three Izuku say, steal his body. With then All For One saying, exactly, raising his arms in that of congratulations towards the young vigilantes. With then saying, there was one thing I always wondered, why? Why out of all of the users of One For All, why was you the one person I could never defeat, All Might? Out of all of the others, even besides one, even my own brother, I could never defeat you. Why was it only you who was able to destroy everything I built, everything I worked for, everything that I achieved by controlling the underworld from the shadows? And then when you returned back from America, you basically destroyed all of that. When I thought you were basically nothing but a coward, you destroyed everything I built. And yet, even after all of that, I still didn't hate you. Even though you ruined everything I worked for, I couldn't hate you. I couldn't hate you enough to want everything that you built destroyed. I wanted to hurt you. I wanted to see you suffer, but I still didn't hate you. So then I came to the realization, if I couldn't hate you, why not I cultivate somebody that was able to hate you, despise you, to destroy you, everything I would do to make you, to build somebody that would be able to destroy, kill, and and bring down everything you have built as the symbol of peace. The same way how you able to tear down everything I built as well. And I had multiple candidates. Even a certain white-haired boy with that of scars as well. But when they were all destroyed, except the one that basically caused it. So I had to put all my faith into Tomura. When I found him on complete and total accident, and when I saw what he was capable of, even his quirk as well, I realized he was perfect. The added bonus, figuring out that he was related to that of Nana Shimura as well. How can I not take this opportunity to use him? I cultivated his hatred, forced him to blame you for everything. They forced him to believe that his grandmother is the reason behind all of his suffering. Despised the very concept of heroes as a whole, and basically make him in. And then when that hatred, that despair, and that want of everything basically bumbled up to wanting to hate the whole entire world as a whole, I would have it. I would have the perfect body, mind, and soul. Perfect for me. Perfect for my quirk. Perfect to rule everything. I would have the body that I would need to destroy and hate you that I've always wanted. And not only that, it would also help me achieve the goal I've always wanted as well as a boy, as that of a young boy since the manga that me and my brother once read as a kid. Within all of them couldn't help but be shocked and surprised hearing this from the supposed symbol of evil that he also had a dream. Within Ion Izuku speaking up bravely enough to ask, saying, "And what is that dream?" Within Suit saying, "It may be silly to you, but to me, it's my everything, my main goal and passion, to become a demon lord." Within soon hearing that, all of them were basically dumbfounded. Hell, even the people who are seeing all of this couldn't help but be shocked and surprised that this is everything that this is the reason why All For One has done all of this. That he became the symbol of chaos, the symbol of evil, the one who controlled the world alone. His entire reasoning to become a demon lord. Within soon, Mirako couldn't help but laugh, saying, "You gotta be kidding me. That's the reason? That's the reason why you've done all of this? Oh, it's so stupid and ridiculous." Within Suit saying, "I know it does. However, it's the true motivation." Within Suit, All Might saying, "You've done so much horrible things. You've killed so many people, destroyed their lives and livelihoods, ruined families, even taken away people's freedom, even taking away my master, the one person who I saw as a mother figure, all for your petty dream of wanting to become something that doesn't exist." Within Suit, Izuku, both three Izukus could help but say, "That's not entirely true. Demon lords do exist." Thinking about the demons from that of the world of Ketsu no Yaiba and those from Yu Yu Hakusho as well. Hell, even the self-proclaimed demon families back in the world of Reborn too, realizing somebody in their world, their home dimension, is also trying to achieve the goal of becoming a demon lord. Can't help but irritates the hell out of Izuku. Within, the three vigilantes step up to the plate with soon All Might and Mirako couldn't open be shocked and surprised. All Might saying, "Wait, young Midoriya, don't," saying, "Stay out of this." All Might with soon, all three of them basically speak with that of authority at the exact same time. With even Mirako can be shocked and surprised hearing that the supposed kind-hearted kid that she basically took under her wing basically is being this stern. Within suit, all for one saying, "Oh, so you, Claire, to stand in my way. If I last recall, the three of you may have caused me quite a bit of struggle and pain, but you're still nothing but just mere fragments. Nothing but getting, and not only that, All Might is not even able to go all out due to you being in the way alongside that little rabbit. So in a way, you have no chance of beating me. With they ensued, all three of them stopped, with saying, the reason we're not going all out is because of one thing. There are still a lot of innocent people here that need attention, and 3 pro heroes aren't enough. Within Sood, Shadow Izuku speaks up saying, lucky enough, I already brought in the cavalry. With Sood, without realizing it, with a snap of his fingers, basically over 20 clones of Shadow Izuku soon jump out of the city, heading to that of the destroyed areas, going through, saving many civilians that Best Genius, Gang Orca, and Mount Lady are unable to get to just yet. But then soon, both that of Edgeshot alongside that of Endeavor and Gran Torino showing up too, with also seeing what is happening. Within all for one, seeing what's going on too, seeing that tons of civilians have been being taken care of by that of multiple clones of Izuku. Within, he couldn't help but feel somewhat caught off guard by all of this. Within, looking back at the three vigilante clones. Within, soon Shadow saying, I've been planning this for a long ass time, to be honest, until tonight. You really think I wouldn't come up with backup plans in case shit didn't go my way? Seriously, having backup plans among backup plans is basically the idea of a hero. Hell, in the truest form of basically a hero overcoming all odds is their improvised plans as well. So to be honest, you lost from the very beginning, All for One. With them hearing that, All for One couldn't help but be angry, shaking in rage, with then saying, oh, is that what you think? Well then, maybe I should, as he was about to prepare one of his quirks, as he's about to extend more of his kinetic booster into that of a higher range, as he's about to burst. Soon, tons of sakura blossom petals began to erupt around him, as then, seeing that of Ronin Izuku, as he switched his Zanpakuto into his Shikai form, being his bladed gauntlets and boots as well, with then saying, scatter, Zenbone Sakura. After saying that, the bladed sakura blossoms soon began to circle around that of All for One, sending him flying up into the air at the exact same time while also cutting him into pieces, cutting him from each and every side of his body as well. With then Ion Izuku saying, hold him still for one moment. I'll weaken him down a little bit more as well. With soon creating that of multiple Tryon boxes. However, each of the Tryon boxes hold that of a specific element. One being fire, one being light, one being water, one being that of wind, another being that of earth, and another being that of lightning. Within soon, all of the Tryon boxes began to spin around in front of Ion Izuku. Within soon, they begin to form in that of the pattern of a star, before bringing out another trigger, as it being his own personal trigger, being the Slayer Blade trigger, as the massive light Tryon blade is in his hands, before then saying, let's go, with then soon stabbing right into that of the center, with then soon each of the other Tryon energies of fire, water, earth, and wind and lightning begin to engulf around that of the blade, creating that of somewhat of a rainbow layer color, with then soon rising up into the air saying, Elemental Slash! Slamming the blade down onto that of the cherry blossom tornado. Within soon, the cherry blossoms disappear, leaving All for One into the air for that of a split second. Before then, seeing that of a pure slash of elemental energy coming down on him, slicing him in half. However, not all the way half that he basically splits him in two, just enough that it cuts right through the mask, his face, and basically the front of his body, where blood begins to spill to the point that his healing quirk is basically once again being pushed past its limits. With then soon All For One thinking, why is he? With soon Endeavor alongside Edgeshot could all be shocked and surprised seeing this. With then even Kamui Woods finally appears too, with Edgeshot saying, how is this even possible? How are vigilantes this capable? With then soon Endeavor saying, that power, that's the kind of power you would see All Might have, and yet they're able to wield it so easily and effortlessly, like it's nothing. Who the hell are these damn vigilantes that they're taking on that of the symbol of chaos and evil? With soon, as All For One is focusing too much on basically healing himself, that he's unable to catch himself. With then, however, as for Shadow Izuku, he begins to gather all of the swift release chakra in his body, within soon channeling that of a wind-style Rasengan, and then in his left hand, and channeling that of a lightning-style Chidori. With soon, both elements begin to crackle around him. With soon, seeing the perfect opportunity, he runs as fast as he can, so fast in a blink of an eye that it almost seems like he's nothing but a pure blur, almost faster than that of All Might. With soon, as All For One to focus on trying to heal himself from the damage from the elemental slash, Shadow Izuku is already above him and about to slam down onto him as well, saying, what would happen if every fiber of your cells is basically destroyed? Will your quirks be enough to save you? Will that quirk of yours be able to protect you enough? Tell me, All For One, the reason that you're not able to beat me, or even beat at least a fragment of my vigilante cells, is because you don't know how to use those quirks properly. You just use them as you see fit. As All For One sees this, he's not fast enough to react to be able to defend himself, as he's too focused on healing himself from the damage, within saying, this can't be. How is this even possible? How is this even possible at all? Wait, I don't need to focus on trying to heal myself. The quirks that he had, whatever his quirk is that allows him to do all this, I can just take that. I can just use that instead. And after that, even if it's a clone, it still has a fragment of his quirk, right? So why not? This is the perfect opportunity. It would be useful. Thank you, young Izuku Midoriya. If it wasn't for you jumping ahead in the battle, I wouldn't be able to win to this day. Hell, maybe I wouldn't even need to use Tomura at all. With your quirk alone, I most likely would already be in my prime, back with how I used to be. As All For One having that of a devious smile, he soon stops healing himself, with the regeneration basically slowed down now, as blood still begins to spill, with then Izuku screaming out, Swiss style! Hurricane lightning! With then slamming both the Rasengan and the Chidori down into that of All For One, within All For One basically placing his hand onto Izuku's head, saying, I have it now. As soon as he says this, he soon enters into that of Izuku, and Izuku, within noticing that of the quirk inside of the clone, as it's still connected to the original Izuku after all, as inside of the mental scape of that of somebody with that of a quirk. He's saying, my perfect opportunity, and his hand was soon cut off alongside every other fiber of his body, with All For One screaming in pain and wondering, what's happening? What is happening? With soon below him, basically above him, as it being a familiar white-haired, red-eyed so familiar looking Izuku Midoriya, however wearing that of a Soul Reaper uniform, and also with that of with that of the sword of Yusa as being Yusa himself, as the Zanpakuto spirit basically made sure that All For One didn't even come in contact with that of the quirk factor in the clone, saying, of course that you'll be able to get in here. Your quirk doesn't physically act unless it acts with that of the quirk factor when you get close to it enough, because you'll be entering a person's mindscape and inner self. Newsflash for you All For One, though. You wouldn't been able to even get the quirk anyway, because as soon as you interact with it, because this is a clone, as soon as you interact with it, it would have poofed and disappeared before you even had a chance to even grab it. With then All For One completely caught off guard and shocked. And you could even see the look on his face, given that in the mindscape, All For One still looks like himself back in his prime. White-haired, red eyes, and somewhat handsome face back in the day. Within Yusa smirking, you could even see that of sharp teeth with that of the face of Izuku Midoriya without the freckles, though, saying, I'm not gonna let you get off that easily. Once the clone disappears, the jutsu would also cancel out as well, and I can't have that. You're going to suffer every single pain you felt. I hope you enjoy having your cells basically destroyed at the molecular level. So, let's see if your little regeneration, defense, and basically body enhancement quirks can survive that. See, now, get the hell out of here, you piece of shit, leech! As he stabs down onto him with All For One screaming, but soon getting out of the mindscape of the clone, would then soon begin to notice without no longer relying on his quirks to protect him anymore. Soon, the Hurricane Lightning Jutsu begins to destroy All For One's body, as the regeneration, defense, healing quirks, and many others that tried to protect All For One are basically nullified entirely, as the cells of All For One are now being destroyed one by one at the exact same time, with soon landing down on the ground, creating that of a massive crater, as soon a black aura begins to erupt around All For One entirely. With then soon, the clone jumps off All For One at the exact same time as the aura soon erupt around him in the explosion. With then soon, Shadow Izuku couldn't help but smirk, saying, honestly, I'm more surprised that worked. I didn't really think that Yusa would actually interfere in that of a clone. I figured I was just going to disappear if he tried to take my quirk. Soon all that's left of All For One is basically stuck in that of a crater, with All Might, alongside Mirako, even that of Gran Torino, with even you actually couldn't help but be shocked and surprised in what they just saw. Even those of the news reporters and out of the helicopter couldn't help but be caught off guard at the power that they just seen happen. With then soon, all three vigilantes began to go down, see in the crater, and try to see All For One. However, all they see is that of All For One still alive. However, he's not healing, he's not regenerating, he's not doing nothing. As right now, All For One's body is completely, somewhat lifeless. The only reason to show that he's still alive is that he's able to breathe. But then soon, Ion Izuku still having the Slayer Tryon blade in his hand, saying, "Let's finish this." With as he's about to go down into the crater. However, All Might soon grabs onto Izuku's shoulder as the Ion Vigilante looks back at his idol, saying, "What's the meaning of this, All Might?" Within saying, "Please, don't. You don't have to." Within soon, Shadow Izuku removes the arm of All Might from Ion, saying, "We appreciate the sentiment, All Might, and saying that we don't have the right to take a life. However, to be honest, you tried to kill him once, and look what happened." With soon, Ronan and Izuku saying, we're trying to end this once and for all. You heard what the guy wants. We keep him alive, he basically plans on using Shigaraki. And not only that, even if Shigaraki goes off the script and does his own thing, what's the chances of him basically of his plan not working in a certain way? He already has contingency plans among contingency plans. So of course, we need to end this now. With then soon, All Might hearing this from his student, as originally he always thought that Izuku was a person always willing to do whatever it's necessary to defeat a villain, but without killing them. But now he sees him, as he remembers that Izuku may be a teenage boy on the outside, but on the inside, he is literally a battle-hardened warrior who is trained under the strongest people in the world and has seen so much that they have gone through to basically win and survive as well. With soon, All Might saying, young Midoriya, when you do this, there's no going back. Saying, I'm aware, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to take a life if it means protecting more and more innocent people from suffering. That's how it is. That's what it means to be a hero. To take the bad so others can have a good life. I'm not afraid to do what's necessary for others. With then soon, as he's about to bring down the blade, somebody screams and tells him, stop! As all three clones look back, as it being you, as she screams out saying, Izuku, please don't do this. I know you say that it's necessary. I know you say that you think killing him is going to do anything good, but will it? I know you're a pro, and I know that what you're doing is what is for everybody else. But what about you? Don't you think that you need to trust everyone else as well? What about me? Don't you trust me? With then all three Izukus, however, even the Izuku on basically still in the hospital, seeing everything go down, begins to feel what Yu was saying, even from his clones. With then soon, Izuku couldn't help but sigh. With then Bakugo saying, "The hell you doing, nerd?" With then soon Izuku saying, "Listening to my girlfriend." With then soon Momo and Ochako saying, "Wait, are you?" With soon placing hands on saying, "Release." As then all three clones basically began to pop at the exact same time into smoke. With soon all of the pros were caught off guard and shocked and surprised. Within All Might saying, "Young Midoriya, it was listening to that of Mount Lady stopped him." Wait, does that mean? Within soon, you couldn't help but actually feel happy that Izuku listened to her for once. And then, with soon back in the hospital saying, "Great. I really hope that I don't get in trouble for this, but knowing my luck, that's definitely how it's going to happen." With then soon Bakugo saying, "You're those damn vigilantes," and I knew it. I freaking knew it. With soon he's saying, "Yeah, I am." As both Momo and Ochako give Izuku that of a stern look, and they basically saying, "Tell us everything." With then Izuku basically have that of a lot of explaining to do. As tonight, the raid on Camino and the battle between that of the vigilantes of Ion, Ronin, and Shadow come to an end tonight. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like it? Did you think that the climax was anticlimactic, that Izuku didn't kill All for One? Personally, that was the original plan. However, I figured that maybe killing him wasn't going to be anything. And besides, you really think Izuku isn't going to find a way to basically kill him if he does try anything? I mean, Izuku is literally the strongest being in MHA. I mean, possibly the second strongest would probably be Stars and Stripes, I won't lie, given her quirk. Not only that, let's also bring in the fact that All For One, even with the idea of being able to copy his quirk from Dr. Ujiko, Shonen Jump Deku is still too damn strong with all the powers he does have, even if they are not as powerful as the main characters that they originally come from. So yeah, no way in hell that whatever the League or that of the Paranormal Liberation Front does will stop them. So yeah, any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification cue to date my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, my Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki signing out. Later, guys, and I hope you all take care. Shiro, you know what to do.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!